Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for what is the kickoff of the final phase of the transformation of this one-time brownfield site into what will soon become a state-of-the-art sustainability and innovation hub. An exciting and entrepreneurial project for the college and, more importantly, for the greater Pottstown community. This hub will be a place where faculty, students, and community can learn, share knowledge, and work together to create a healthy and sustainable environment that enhances the economic health and well-being of the borough and Montgomery County, and frankly, the Tri-County region. There are many distinguished guests joining us this afternoon, and I'm going to make an attempt to go through a list, knowing that there's always the possibility that I will leave someone out. So if I do as I go through this, wave at me. Is Steve Taroni here? I didn't see Steve. Steve is the Borough Council Chair. And how about Mark Flanders? Mark's here, okay. And Erica Weekly is also here from the Borough. Thank you for being here, and thank you for supporting this project and all of the college's projects over the years. You've been wonderful partners. I think about when we wanted to put the windmills up and how groundbreaking that was, and what a great partner and how innovative you've been in working with us so that we can help the borough to continue to grow. I also want to, is Jack Corey here? And I pull out his name, I know he's coming. He is on our foundation board, and he is the co-chair of the current West Campus Steering Committee for our Futures Rising private fundraising campaign. And Jack, with his colleagues from the West Campus and with Dr. Mono's leadership as well, have been instrumental in helping us to raise now more than $10 million in private scholarship support for students at our West and Central campuses, and that campaign will soon be coming to a close. We also have the lead or the associate architect for the project here with us, Bill Trout. Where's Bill? Bill, thank you for being here and joining us. We also have Cyrus Chamberlain, the new executive director of the Schuylkill River National Heritage Association, our partner in this building. And we have the board chair and one of our retiring faculty members, Professor Rob Coleman, with us too. Rob, thank you for being here in that dual role. Thank you for your leadership in the community. And we have foundation board member Rick Cottam, who's just joining us. Rick, thanks for being here. Oh, geez, now we have the thunder. We have the executive director of the Tri-County Chamber of Commerce, Eileen Dietrich. Thank you for being here. And we have Dr. Jim Links, who I'm pleased to recognize for the first time publicly as the college's new interim president. And we're working in transition over these next couple of weeks as I get ready to move on to the next adventure in my career as president of Achieving the Dream. And Jim comes to us as the interim president after 20 years of very, very distinguished service as the president at Bucks County Community College. I never thought we'd have our competitor president here in the interim role, but now I say that with lots of admiration, because Dr. Links and I worked together on a number of projects at the state level, and when I joined Montgomery County Community College, the very first phone call I received when I was appointed was from Dr. Links. And at the time, in his role as president at Bucks, he was president of the Commission for Community Colleges within Pennsylvania. And he called to say, congratulations, and it's really important that Montgomery be part of this statewide effort, because at the time, Montgomery was not part of the county, of the Council of Colleges. So Jim, I'm just thrilled that you've agreed to help us in this transition while the board moves forward for a permanent replacement. With that said, I want to move on and talk a little bit about the project, and then I'm going to ask Dr. Mono and Dr. DiMatteo to help me to be more detailed about the vision for this project. This project really started because it was a gift, the building and the land, to us from the borough. another sign of the strong partnership we've had with Pottstown over the years. It's the old Pico generating station, and at the time, the Schuylkill River National Heritage Association was a tenant for the borough in this building. This was a brownfield site, the parking lot that we're in, with a lot of contamination, and the building itself needed lots of work, other than what was already renovated in the first part of the building. So we took the gift and we developed a plan, a three-stage plan, and it had to be 3 stages because we had no money when we took the gift to do the renovation of the site and the building. And so we started with this parking lot, and we created a plan. And we happened to be in the right place at the right time because that was when federal stimulus money was coming through, when the president was looking for shovel-ready projects, and we had a strong delegation in Washington. Congressman Gerlach especially was interested in helping us to get the dollars to turn this site into what you've heard me talk about is probably the most aesthetically pleasing parking lot you've ever seen. It's well lit. The plantings are gorgeous. I think it's very complementary to the setting near the Schuylkill River. And the parking lot helped us with an overflow parking situation for the West Campus, but also has given lots of residents easy access to the Schuylkill River for recreation and to the trail system, which this has become a hub point for. In 2012, some of you joined us as we launched phase 2 of the project, which really was in partnership with the Schuylkill River National Heritage Association, a way for them to develop their interpretive center, which is really nice. And if you have a chance after this is over to visit, please go in and take a look at what's there. It's a gem. It's a real big community resource, and I'm going to come in and get my passport stamped because I've been waiting for, 12 years to come and get my passport stamped while I'm here at the West Campus, and this is my last visit actually to the West Campus. And in phase 2, we at the college took the outside facade and fixed that. So we fixed the aging and leaking roof. We built an eco-friendly green roof. We constructed a new entrance with a handicapped accessible ramp. We installed energy-efficient windows, and we updated the water and sewer service. So we did all the infrastructure to the building, and we left the shell kind of untouched. This is designed to be LEED certified, and I think that the whole project underscores the college's strategic focus on sustainability. A commitment we made in 2007 when we were one of the original signatories to the American College and University President's Climate Commitment, pledging to reduce our carbon footprint between now and 2050. So now we're ready to talk about what will go inside the shell, the third phase of the project. And the strategy for this project has evolved over the last several years, just as the West Campus has evolved. And there's been a team responsible for envisioning what that strategy should be. And most of the team is here. I mean, I look around and I see many of you were thought leaders and are thinking, what do we want this last piece of this building to be, and what programs do we want to put there that will really help fill a workforce gap in this community, but also help the college to move forward with our academic programs to make them even more relevant. So our provost, Dr. Vicky Bastecki-Perez, was a thought leader in this, as were all of our academic deans and our faculty, especially in the sciences and the engineering areas. And they came together under the leadership and vision of Dr. Steady Mono, the vice president of the West Campus, to really put forward this idea about the sustainability and innovation hub, which we'll talk about in a few moments. As many of you know, Dr. Mono will assume the presidency at Schenectady County Community College in New York on July the 1st. And I'd like to take this opportunity, and we're having a reception for Steady at the end of this event. But he has made a major mark on Montgomery County Community College, not just the West Campus and the West Campus community, but also many of you know he started at the college as the Dean of Student Success at the Central Campus. So he made a tremendous mark at the Central Campus as well. But the people that he touched the most with his service are our students. I mean, when you see Steady around our students, you really see what makes him go. So we will miss him, but we are set to be kind of your shoulders that you can lean on as you move on to the next stage in your career. So with that, I'd like to introduce Dr. Steady Mono to the podium.
Thank you. Thank you, President Stout. I mentioned this morning that I really, I don't want to get emotional. I mentioned this morning that I really felt blessed because in our morning's leadership meeting this morning, there was obviously Dr. Stout who has been my mentor and learned a lot from her, and ironic that we are both leaving about the same time, but really learned a lot. I'll take a little bit of time because I think this is my last time in front of a mic here, so I'll use that license.
Off script.
but really, I just want to talk about the influence that she has had on my career. You know, I remember interviewing with President Stout about 10 and a half years ago. I was a young guy then, still had hair, it was dark, you know, and we talked a lot. But she asked, obviously, about the job, but she was really more focused on how can she help me progress in my career. And we spent a lot of time in that interview. You'd think an interview would be talking about what skills you bring, but she was really focused on how she could help me. Fast forward to when I was interviewing at Connecticut, I got 2 calls. I don't even think President Stout remembers this, but I was there for my initial interview, and the first one was kind of in the evening, the day before I interviewed, and the other phone call was the day I interviewed. And then she sent me an email just as I was walking in the interview. And the tag of that email is, "You have this one, you got this one, go in, you got this one." And you don't know how reassuring that was, you know. Even so, and after the interview, she did text me, as a matter of fact, and said, "How did it go?" And said, "I think you have this one. You really relax. You have this one." So, thank you. Thank you very much. And obviously, the guy who took a chance hiring me into the community college was President Links. President Links. Again, colleague, friend, a dad in many ways. So I really feel blessed that professionally 2 of the most important people who have really helped me are here on this kind of the last week or so or 2 at Montgomery County Community College. So if you could join me humbly, please, with a round of applause for both Dr. Links and Dr. Stout. Thank you. And I have my family here, really. My wife, who has been an incredible supporter of in about 4 weeks, we'll be married about 29 years. I think I'm right. 29 years. Just an incredible best friend, really best friend, incredible colleague, and very supportive. And I have my in-laws here and my aunt as well. That's just, they've worked alongside of me professionally in good, bad, great times, always there, and prayed for me a lot through all these journeys. So thank you. And there are a lot of people I would thank, but thank you. So talking about the West Campus, again, one conversation I had probably about a good 5 years ago. I was looking at some of my notes in the last couple of weeks. Conversation I had with President Stout. We're sitting in our office for the one-on-one, and one of the questions I asked her was, how is it that you had this vision of the West Campus and continuing to expand the West Campus, and you take, whether it's 140 College Drive, or it's North Hall, or it's the University Center. How does that happen in a leader? How does that evolve? And you know, the expectation was that she was going to talk about strategies, and she was going to talk about increasing the footprint. But what she really talked about was her commitment to social equity and social justice. And that kind of caught me off guard, because she really didn't want to talk so much about the programs and the buildings, but about this issue, this anchor that we have at Montgomery County Community College, the anchor of student access and success, and making sure that opportunities are available for our students and our community. And in many ways, this is what 140 College Drive presents. And Dean DiMaggio is going to talk more in detail about the programs that we are going to put here. But I want to emphasize that if you are going to look at our mission, one of the unforgettable statements of our mission is one that there's a sentence there that says that Montgomery County Community College is a place where the future is created, a place where desire and knowledge are combined to yield opportunity. And that's what this building is going to help us continue to do. A place where desire and knowledge are combined to yield opportunity. This is yet another opportunity for residents of Montgomery County, but specifically so, and deliberately so, for the western part of Montgomery County, for the Passtown area and the Tri-County area. It's really an exciting time for Montgomery County Community College, exciting time for the greater Passtown area and the Tri-County area, even as we continue to create opportunities. Can you imagine that right here in Passtown, there is going to be a hub for innovation and sustainability? And my prayer and my hope, and I know it's President Stout's hope as well, that it will serve as a beacon to all that we serve in this county, and that it will lead the way for community colleges around the country, including Schenectady County Community College, to learn something about this commitment that this college, the president, and the board of trustees have. So thank you. I'm looking around here in the audience. Obviously, my colleagues, the leadership team, the faculty members, the administrators, and the community members as well that have been incredibly gracious. I'm looking around and just see the warm and just incredible hands of fellowship that you've extended to me over the years. You have all contributed to creating the next president of Schenectady County Community College, but more importantly, to creating a vibrant Montgomery County Community College, and specifically so the West Campus. Continue to support it. This is your college. It's a people's college. Continue to support it, even in my absence and even in Dr. Stout's absence, because it is your college, and I hope that it continues to thrive. Nothing is going to be more pleasing to both of us than to read and hear about the wonderful transformation that is happening in the Passtown area as a result of this college. And for me and for us, it will continue to have an imprint in our lives. I'm eternally grateful that I had an opportunity to walk this way. Eternally grateful. And I wish all of you just incredible blessings and friends for forever. Thank you very much.
So you'll have a chance to talk to Steady after this. We've built in a reception to celebrate Steady's service to the college and his accomplishments. So please make sure that you stay, and we'll have some time with Steady, some more time with Steady and his family. Steady mentions the mission statement. It's funny. We have our mission statement posted in every building, and we did that, about 18 months ago. And when my parents were here a couple weeks ago, my dad looked up and he stared at the mission statement. I'm so proud of it. I said, it's elegant. It says exactly, who and what we are. And he looked up at it and he said, geez, how many people did it take to figure out how to put those words together? How many committees did it take? How many? I mean, that was his question, and he's coming from hospital administration, which is a lot like higher ed administration, so he's been through that kind of mission exercise. But what's really interesting about that mission statement that Steady refers to is that was developed in 2002, and there were lots of committees, and there were lots of conversations, and there was lots of kicking at the words. But every time we've reconvened since then to look at that mission statement to test its relevancy, we don't want to change it. That means we did some pretty good work back then. It's an enduring value that the mission statement speaks to, and that's really what this work is about. So now the moment you've been waiting for. What is Phase 3? What is a sustainability and innovation hub anyway? So there is going to be a 3-floor hub, and it's going to be very unique. And Dr. DiMatteo will explain it in more detail in a few moments. But let me take a few moments to outline some of the spaces now, because I think that they truly capture the innovative spirit of Montgomery County Community College. The hub's first floor will house an aquaponics teaching laboratory, which will support the college's new interdisciplinary environmental studies degree program, and can support future credit and non-credit programming in areas such as hydroponics, greenhouse technology, food production, horticulture, and landscape design. Aquaponics integrates growing fish and growing soilless plants in an integrated system that mutually benefits both environments. I was fascinated recently. I was at Upper Perkiomen High School to see that they had an emerging aquaponics program. So this is great timing and a great location for this type of program. Provides students, faculty, and local businesses with teaching, learning, and research opportunities in critical sustainability issue areas like water conservation, where we've been a leader statewide, efficient land use, environmental preservation, and natural fertilization. Dean DiMatteo will talk a little bit more about the benefits of studying aquaponics for our students. The second floor will provide a flexible makerspace for the college's engineering technology program, bringing this high-demand associate degree to the West Campus for the first time. The engineering technology program prepares graduates for careers in advanced technology fields of instrumentation, communications, and mechanical structures and systems. And we know in this part of the county there is a growing base of advanced manufacturing firms, small to medium, 20 to 50 employees, and we're hoping that we can connect more deeply with that advanced manufacturing community through this program. Examples of programming for the engineering makerspace could include robotics, quadrotors, mobile apps, 3D printing, drafting, circuit board designs, and Google Glass applications. The key is that this is flexible space, and it becomes the kind of space that our students want it to become. It's becoming a growing movement, the establishment of maker spaces. A lot of four-year college research universities, Lehigh being among them, have really elegant maker spaces. This is our first attempt to create that kind of maker space for community college students. It's an experiment in many respects, but we think we're on the forefront of this movement, and building our engineering technology program capacity is really important for the West Campus because of the type of employer base that's in the Tri-County region. The third floor will feature an open innovation space, a technical playground for developers and designers to receive mentorship, to learn new technologies, to start side projects, and to collaborate on existing initiatives. And I know Dr. Mono has shared this idea with some of the CEOs of the small and medium companies in this area. They're very excited about what this space might become and how they may partner with us in building out this space. So the format and programming of the spaces will vary, but the goal is the same: to provide students, faculty, businesses, and the community at large with the opportunity to collaborate with other developers and designers to build, learn, and get hands-on experience with the latest technologies. The college will bring mentors in to help with projects, experts to teach new skills, and this is where those partnerships with the business community will be so important, and developers to make connections. So at this time, I'd like to welcome Dean of Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics, Dave DiMatteo, to the podium to share some additional details about the project. Dean DiMatteo and his faculty have had a significant hand in helping us to think through what this space will look like. Dean DiMatteo.
Well, Dr. Stout did quite a nice job of describing the facility, at least in our vision, but let me try to fill in a few of the details for you as well. So let me just begin by saying that innovation can occur at any time. How many?
I think it should just be one. Yeah. It's right now going between the. Oh no.
Perfect timing. So again, let me start by saying that innovation can occur at any time, at any place, and it's typically driven by the scientific method of observation, identifying patterns. That's 3, right? That's a pattern right there. 4. I'm identifying my pattern right there. And making educated guesses and drawing conclusions. Again, innovation can occur at any time, at any place. Let me remind you of a particular incident that perhaps is fitting. In 1581, many years ago, a 17-year-old student by the name of Galileo Galilei observed the motion of a chandelier in the cathedral as it was moving in the presence of the wind. He observed that, and he noticed that if he used his pulse as a timing device, he was able to identify the properties of what would become the pendulum. Now again, this innovation, this device, this pendulum, would soon be used to become, allow us to manufacture more functional clocks. We were able to now measure the acceleration due to gravity with this pendulum. We were able to define conservation of energies. An example of innovation. Accelerate time to today, modern day, 2015. This week, the Solar Impulse 2, an airplane running on solar energy alone, continues its 35,000 kilometer flight around the world. The knowledge and data that's being acquired by this renewable energy source airplane will continue to innovate learners and leaders for years to come. So again, 2 examples of innovation. The American Association of Colleges and Universities' recent report proposed changes to undergraduate science education, including the integration of research experiences. This learner-centered context challenges students to organize knowledge and develop skills through forms of active engagement strategies in the context of scientific, environmental, society issues. This is what I would call the mission of our Sustainability Innovation Hub for our students and for our community. We hope to establish a resource for STEM teaching and learning that will impact student, educator, community. Experiential learning opportunities that provide students and teachers with hands-on projects connected to the disciplines of physics, biology, chemistry, environmental studies, engineering. A place for the local industry and for academia to make connections, allowing for pathways into higher education or perhaps into the workforce and potential careers. So as you heard, the first floor is aquaponics. Aquaponics is the method of growing crops and fish together in a recirculating system. By using gravity as a transport, water is drained from what we call the aquaculture. That's just a nice word for the fish tank. The aquaculture takes the water from that into what we call a gravel bed. So water is drained from the fish tank into the gravel bed. However, in that water is also the fish wastes. Okay, the fish have to go, and it has to go somewhere. And so again, it goes in with this water. Bacteria present in that gravel bed are going to help to break down that fish waste. And what happens then is that it becomes eventually what we call nitrogen. And nitrogen is a key nutrient for plant development. So now this filtered water is pumped in from that gravel bed into a series of growing beds where we're now going to grow the crops, and where we will raise a variety of crops. And this is what we call hydroponics. So in essence, aquaponics is the combination of the aquaculture, the fish tank, and the hydroponics, the growing of the crops, again, in typically a soilless environment. Finally, that water that is fed to the growing beds will then feed back into the fish tank. So as you can see, this type of aquaponics system is not necessarily difficult to build, and what it does is it describes a closed-loop production, in that it has the capacity to provide all its inputs into the system, so it's a closed environment of itself, but yet it uses its own waste to reinitiate those wastes and become something useful to the next series of steps. This is a true example of sustainability. It does not require fertile soil. It does not require large amounts of water, and we can set these up practically anywhere. So again, that's part of our vision, is to help to educate individuals, the local community as well, to sort of invent and to provide them with the knowledge to perhaps have these aquaponic systems of their own, perhaps in their own backyard, in their garage, in their kitchen. One can see the disciplinarity of this resource, expanding on the sciences of biology, chemistry, mathematics, of course. We want to provide our students and our local community with educational experiences in energy monitoring, in terms of water science, in terms of food development. We will promote the value of urban agriculture, healthy eating, and recycling, while introducing principles of natural cycles. Now, the second floor, as you heard, is what we're calling what I would call a clean makerspace. But in this engineering learning lab, for lack of a better description, it will allow our students in our community to be exposed to devices and applications like designing software, 3D printing, Arduino technology. Ideally, this space will be used to teach prototyping skills, to utilize cutting-edge prototyping software and hardware, and teach entrepreneurial engineering techniques for advancing high-tech production and product development, ideally using 3D printing technology. 3D printing is a rapidly becoming a multidisciplinary resource that allows for three-dimensional modeling from a very small, minute scale to a very large scale. We at the college, with the use of the hub, we will be exploring the possibility of 3D printing for food, for printing of model body parts for medical research and medical teaching, for the printing of usable parts for the daily use, like hinges or cable protectors or parts for a cell phone. Again, the college's quad rotor program, as you heard earlier, its quad rotor program manufactures roughly 80% of its drones on the 3D printers now. So it's in that format that we would like to be developing these types of projects, again, for the college student and also for our community. With experience in simple drafting and design technology, students can explore a long-term option in perhaps electronics, nanotechnology, precision machinery. Again, all options that could perhaps lead into the engineering technology AS that we're happy to bring to the West Campus. Working with our computer science faculty and staff, students will be exposed to procedural programming so that they can manipulate the Arduino microcontrollers. Arduinos are those parts that allow for limitless arrays of innovative applications such as robotics, of lighting of apparatus, game technology, and even gardening. So again, on our third floor and our final floor, this is what we were calling our open space for collaboration. Programming with surrounding partners, community partners from academia and industry in a variety of opportunities. We are going to encourage STEM-specific skills of science and mathematics, but of course, my colleagues within the college will also be emphasizing foundational skills of communication, creativity, team building, critical thinking. The college is currently working with a series of middle school and high school instructors in the area to enhance STEM education and strengthen pathways into what will be higher education for them. We imagine this space to be the hub, the nexus, the pivot point of experiential learning, providing innovative opportunities for college students and faculty, for the local community partners in education and industry, to develop and sustain curriculum, programming, and interests. It will be exciting to see this program continue, and we welcome interested persons and members of the community to please reach out to me and to us. But I would really like to say thanks to Drs. Mono and Stout for their innovative vision to move us forward while sustaining quality education at Montgomery County. So, thank you.
So thank you, Dave. I think this is an exciting project for the college, but also for the community, and we'll be co-designing these spaces as we move forward, and I think that's where a lot of the excitement is. I'm hoping that I'll be able to come back and explore the Aquaponics lab. That was a memorable description. So thank you, Dave. Mostly, I really want to thank, there are a lot of people from the college that had a lot to do with the behind-the-scenes thinking about the infrastructure and especially the ongoing development of this site. Jaime Gerardo, who's our Associate Vice President for Facilities, he's done a lot of work behind the scenes in helping to shepherd this forward, and I'm going to congratulate you, Jaime, on your work related to this project. Andy Galata, you've put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears on ground here while we work through the parking lot and the first phases of this project, and you'll be, I think, again on the ground with this one. Charlie Scandone, Mike Belletta, we have a tremendous facilities team, and this gives them another opportunity to continue to excel in their work on behalf of the college. Most importantly, the project would not be possible without the community. Those of you here from the external community, thank you for your support. The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania is primarily funding this phase of the work through their capital program. The college is also making sure that we keep our local commitment that's required in order to secure the Commonwealth's funds. But it really is the investment from the schools, and Myra, thank you for being here. The Pottstown Health and Wellness Foundation, David Crable, thank you for being here, and so many others who have joined in with the college and said, you know what, this community college really can help in partnership with others to be a catalyst for change in Pottstown. There's still, we know, a lot of work to be done in Pottstown. We're not, we haven't, you talk about that social equity and social justice mission and the access piece of the role of the work of the community college and the partnerships that's so essential, starting with the Pottstown School District, but even, branching out to the other feeder school districts. So much work for us to do. I'm excited by this project and the potential of it, and I'm excited about the continuing prospects for the West Campus. In closing, I'd like to share a quote that I think captures the spirit of this project and the importance of sustainable education. Ban Ki-moon, who is currently the Secretary General of the United Nations, says this: "Sustainable development is the pathway to the future we want for all. It offers a framework to generate economic growth, achieve social justice, exercise environmental stewardship, and strengthen governance." That quote hits me because community colleges in many ways do the same thing as sustainability. And when you take the power, that powerful combination of sustainability with the community college mission, we really are now, with this hub, joining the two forces together to continuing to make the footprint in Pottstown strong. So at this time, we have some hard hats and shovels under another tent. So well planned, thank you. And we want to celebrate with a photograph. And I'd like Dr. Mono, Dean DiMatteo, Dr. Bestecchi Perez to join me over under the tent so that we can do the ceremonial hard hat groundbreaking. Hopefully you'll be able to view that without getting wet, and then we can come back and enjoy the refreshment and reception on behalf of Dr. Mono. Thank you for being here.